Jiling, affectionately known as Jim, was a renowned animal advocate. With a background in the field and a dedication to safeguarding all creatures, he eagerly embraced his newfound role as a permanent consultant at the local zoo. Within the zoo's confines, Jim applied his expertise to ensure the welfare of its inhabitants. From advising on their care and living conditions to determining suitable companionship, he left no stone unturned. Beyond his professional duties, Jim remained actively engaged in animal rescue efforts, a passion that led him to encounter a stranded Labrador puppy one fateful morning en route to work. Abandoned on the street, the puppy tugged at Jim's heartstrings. Without hesitation, he scooped her up and brought her along to the zoo, christening her Lou and pledging to provide her with a loving home. Growing up within the zoo's nurturing environment, Lou quickly endeared herself to the staff, becoming a beloved resident canine. Embracing her role with enthusiasm, she eagerly accompanied Jim on his daily rounds, diligently checking in on her fellow animal companions alongside her devoted human friend. Although Lou never ventured inside the enclosures to interact with the other animals, she found joy in observing them through the glass and offering her friendly greetings. Throughout the day, she lent a paw to the zoo staff, assisting with various tasks such as carrying goods or providing comfort to anxious animals. Jim cherished Lou's presence, relishing the moments when she rested at his feet, especially appreciating her warmth during colder months. In addition to his responsibilities at the zoo, Jim remained actively involved in organizations dedicated to rescuing wild animals. Whether aiding in capturing distressed creatures or offering consultation on their care, Jim's commitment to animal welfare extended far beyond the zoo's confines. 3 years after rescuing Lou, Jim received an urgent call from a countryside agency reporting the discovery of 3 abandoned tiger cubs. This alarming situation deviated from the usual rescue calls, typically involving injured city birds or smaller animals. The plight of the tiger cubs signaled a grave circumstance, hinting at tragedy befalling their mother. Realizing the urgency of the situation, the organization pleaded for immediate assistance in finding a suitable refuge for the cubs. Recognizing the zoo's capacity to provide the necessary care and protection, Jim swiftly agreed to take them in. Though aware of the challenges ahead, including the round-the-clock fostering required, Jim remained uncertain about how Lou would react to the arrival of these formidable feline newcomers. The next day, as the cubs arrived at the zoo, Jim and the staff gathered eagerly to welcome them. With their fluffy coats indicating their youth, the cubs were promptly taken to the zoo's hospital section for a thorough examination. In a wave of excitement, everyone, including the already smitten Lou, followed along. Jim couldn't quite explain Lou's intense fascination with the cubs. It seemed almost instinctual. As the vet completed their checkup and administered medication, they proposed an unconventional experiment, allowing Lou to interact with the cubs to observe her reaction. What followed astonished everyone present. Lou immediately took to the cubs, showering them with affection as if they were her own offspring. She nestled them against her warm belly, tenderly licking and grooming them. It was evident that Lou regarded the cubs as her own, and remarkably, they accepted her as their mother. Witnessing this extraordinary bond, both the vet and Jim were left in awe, recognizing the rarity and beauty of the moment. Understanding that Lou's maternal instincts were genuine and beneficial for the cubs' well-being, they decided to let her nurture them. At night, when Jim left for home, he entrusted Lou with the care of the cubs in the hospital wing. Taking her role seriously, Lou devoted herself to the cubs' upbringing, mirroring the behaviors of a dedicated mother for nearly 3 months. Watching the tiger cubs grow was a captivating experience as they transformed from timid youngsters into confident, lively felines. The zoo staff endeavored to keep the cubs with Lou for as long as feasible. However, the inevitable moment arrived when the unconventional family needed to part ways. The tigers required socialization with their own kind, while Lou's safety necessitated separation from their formidable claws and teeth. Initially, Lou appeared distressed by the separation, but with time, she adjusted. Like any parent witnessing their offspring venture into the world, she found solace in seeing them flourish independently. Although there were no plans for a reunion, fate had an unexpected twist in store. 2 years after their separation, an extraordinary event unfolded during the region's stormy summer season. As a massive typhoon descended upon the city, plunging it into darkness, including the zoo, Jim and his team sprang into action to secure the premises. In the chaos, they inadvertently overlooked Lou, who was deeply terrified by the ferocious storm. Driven by instinct to seek shelter from the raging elements, Lou found herself overwhelmed by fear. Frantically, Lou darted from one enclosure to another in a desperate quest for shelter. In her panic, she stumbled over a wall and tumbled into a sunken area enclosed by a fence, a place she had forgotten in her terror. As she regained her footing, the darkness of the enclosure enveloped her, but the scent of another presence lingered in the air. Staying close to the wall, Lou strained to discern her surroundings in the dim light filtering in. Suddenly, movement stirred, revealing unmistakable stripes in the darkness. With a surge of dread, Lou realized she had stumbled into the domain of the adult tigers. Trembling with fear, she knew she stood no chance against their formidable size and strength. The tension thickened as the tigers regarded her, their gaze fraught with suspicion and hostility. Lou attempted to adopt a defensive posture, puffing herself up in a futile attempt to appear imposing. But her efforts were in vain. What defense could a mere Labrador mount against these apex predators? Racing for the inevitable onslaught, Lou's heart pounded with terror. Then, a remarkable sight unfolded before her eyes. Behind the 6 tigers facing her, a flicker of movement revealed 3 more joining their ranks, adding to the formidable presence before her. However, their attention wasn't directed towards Lou, but rather towards their fellow tigers. It became apparent that they were shielding her, and in that moment, Lou caught the familiar scent that instantly eased her fears. Before her stood the 3 cubs she had nurtured and cared for years ago. Despite their prolonged separation, the bond between them remained unbroken. With the reassurance of their presence, the atmosphere shifted. The younger tigers managed to calm the older ones, dispelling any perception of Lou as a threat. Gradually, the tension dissipated as the other tigers retreated to their respective territories, content to weather the storm in peace. Yet, the most remarkable moment was yet to come. With the threat averted, the young tigers turned their attention to Lou, showering her with affection and gratitude. Overjoyed to be reunited, they huddled together, encircling their adoptive mother and providing her with comfort and protection until the storm subsided. In this extraordinary display of love and loyalty, the tigers repaid the kindness Lou had shown them, demonstrating an enduring bond that transcended time and circumstance.